Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. This is a really nice combination of finger picking combined with some basic chords. Remember to have the capo on a fret number 3. It does say that on your PDF file as well. And if you listen to the original, you'll notice that it's piano. And when I went to go look for the chords, the rhythm that they suggested was to simply count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now this rhythm didn't work very well for me. It sounds almost too basic, almost too beginner. So I thought we can change it a little bit to make it sound a little bit more cooler and to make the song sound more like a nice acoustic ballad. So I'm going to demonstrate on an acoustic guitar later as well so you can compare the two. I'm just using the electric now because it's convenient to play and nice and comfortable. And we're going to look at what I would like to suggest for an alternative picking pattern. It's going to sound something like this. And to prove that this works nicely, I'm going to play the original now from the YouTube channel so you can hear how this picking actually complements the piano and keeps the basic essence of the song sounding really cool. In fact, I actually prefer it with the guitar than the piano, but that's an opinion. Okay, here we go. Remember on the first beat, we want to accent that, and it works really nicely. And you can hear how nicely it works with that. Now first of all, let's see what the picking pattern is, what we're actually doing with your picking hand. So I'm going to zoom in a bit closer. I'm going to bring the camera nice and close to the picking hand. I'm going to play a G chord with my other hand that's actually out of focus with the video right now. I'm going to focus only on what we're doing here. Now presently my thumb is resting on the 6th string, and if you look at your PDF file on the chord diagrams on the right hand side, you'll notice that there's a blue dot, and that's also on the 6th string. So the purpose of the blue dots is to show us which strings to pluck for the bass note for the thumb. Fingers 2, 3 and 4, I'm going to hold the camera like this, or the guitar like that rather. Finger 1 is going to play 3rd string, middle finger the 2nd string, ring finger the 1st string. Now on the count of 1, I pluck strings 6, 3, 2 and 1, but all at the same time. On the and after that, I only pluck the bass note, so it's 1 and. On the count of 2, just the bottom 3, and then the and back into the bass note. So now we're going to get a rhythm establishing itself. And slow motion, not to put the rhythm together, it's going to be all the strings, bass, fingers, bass, fingers, bass, fingers, bass, all. So every time you come back to the first beat, you pluck all 4 strings. All the ands will be the thumb, and numbers 2, 3 and 4 are going to be that. Now I'm going to change direction one more time, and I'm going to count out loud so you can play along with me if you want to, and we're going to try and synchronize your playing with our playing on the side. Are you ready? G chord is at the top, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Off to E minor, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and C coming up now. Notice the thumb is on the 5th string, 1 and 2 and 3, back to G now. And it works really nicely. And I think it sounds a lot cooler than just going 1 and 2 and 3. That sounds a bit too sort of cold, too boring. Now I'm going to quickly demonstrate on the acoustic so you can just compare the two guitars, and you're going to hear how nice this sounds there as well. As promised, the acoustic guitar, you'll notice there's not a big change in sound, although there is a bit of a difference obviously. Here we go. Want to play with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to G. And the rhythm works very, very well. I'm going to switch back to electric and then start learning the chord shapes. Electric guitar's back, and now we're going to zoom in onto our fretting hand. You can see the capo sitting on fret number 3, which means that this is now officially your new fret number 1, new fret number 2, new fret number 3 for those that aren't sure of a capo. First finger must get placed on the 5th string, always counting from the bottom, 2nd fret. Middle finger goes straight to the top, 6th string. Ring finger goes to the bottom, so you can see a nice overview there of the chords. You can see the fingers in position. Okay, now there is an alternative way of playing G that I know some guitarists do prefer. The only change over here is finger 3 comes up a string and the pinky adds on, so that's how your new G will begin, and then fingers 1 and 2 at the top, where the normal conventional G is just the ring finger. I prefer 3 and 4, but either are quite acceptable. For those that do know easy G and only that, don't use it for this song. It's not going to sound cool because we need to play the bass note, so we need to have that finger there to get that note. Okay, that's your G chord. From there, when we go to E minor, I want you to notice what the first finger does when I change. Going to change now. Didn't do much. The trick there is to move your middle finger under the first finger, so finger 1 simply slides a bit back but doesn't lift. So we don't want to do this and lift everything up. We're going to let the first finger guide us in. When you change to the C, middle finger now need not move. Now, not all the chords are this easy on the changes. Just for those that aren't sure of C, if you're a newbie, welcome to guitar. Okay, finger 1 is on the 2nd string, second finger is on the 4th string, ring finger on the 5th string, always counting from the bottom. I did number the fingers to help. And back to G. Okay, that's as easy as the song is. That's the basic of the progression. You play each chord through twice, 2 Gs, 2 E minors, 2 Cs, 2 Gs, and then you start all over again and repeat everything. Now, when it gets to the chorus, you'll notice there's an E minor, D, G, B minor 7th. Now, B minor 7 is a bit of a sneaky chord. You're going to need to bar it. So, for those who haven't done bar chords yet, this is a nice way to get into it. Finger 1 must be flat across all 6 strings. And you'll notice my thumb, which is normally there when I'm playing C and G and E minor, my thumb now disappears. You can say goodbye to the thumb. And this helps me get my first finger flat across all 6 strings. Middle finger now comes in on the 2nd string, and 3rd finger on the 4th string, like this. The trick is, first finger must be flat. We don't want bends. You can see I'm bending it intentionally there. It must be nice and flat. And your bass notes on the 5th string. Okay, now it's a pretty quick change from the E minor to the D, to the G, to the B minor 7, to the C. And then after that you're going to see NC in lowercase. That means no chord. So you want silence. Listen carefully. Nothing happened. That was NC. There was no chord. Okay. And then after that, normal D and G. And I'm going to go to that particular part of the song so you can hear the rhythm for that quick change of the E minor, D, G, B minor 7, C. And we can put everything in context. Now, if you go to about 1 minute, 10 seconds into the song, you'll be picking up the words, now that I'm gone. And when she sings, but I guess you didn't mean it when you wrote about, there's the B minor 7. Nice quick change. It's going to go like that. The last C is going to go 4 beats. So the C is going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no chord. Okay. So one more time before I play along with the track. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no chord, 2 and 3 and 4 and D is going to pick it back to normal. But let me play the track and you can hear it, okay? Got my E minor in place. I'm going to zoom out a bit there so you can get to see both hands for the timing, and let's do this. And 2 and 3 and 4 and no chord, 2 and 3 and 4 and it's as simple as that. Now the D chord over there as well, you don't really hear the D chord. If the piano might be playing it quietly in the background, but you can't really hear it. So my suggestion is let that NC carry and rather ignore that D. So as you're coming through, E minor, D and G and B minor 7, C, 2 and 3 and 4 and no chord, 2 and sings about forever, then no, back to G after that. So you'd rather leave the D out, which is a very important lesson in itself. Don't always take everything that's written down on what you read on tabs and that as accurate from the internet, because it's everybody's interpretation. My interpretation could be wrong. I personally feel that it sounds better without the D. And some chords even had an N6, or some interpretations had a C6 chord, which sounds like this. And I can't find that chord anywhere inside the song. So if you're working with a track that says C6, and it's an interpretation of Driver's License by Olivia, there is no C6. Just typics it out, typics out the D, write NC in its place, and the song will work great. Now if there's any questions on the song, drop me a WhatsApp. I hope you enjoy it. It's a really nice song to play, and looking forward to hearing from you. Any requests, send it through. Have an awesome week. Thank you.